Hello everyone, welcome back to Software Testing with Ree. This is the seventh video in our SQL Practical Series. If you are just starting out with SQL for database testing or data analysis, this video will be very helpful. Today we are focusing on string functions in SQL, the functions that help you clean, format and work with text data like names, email IDs and IDs. These functions are small but powerful and they come up all the time in real world testing and analysis tasks. So let's get started. We will use a simple table called employees. Let's create it and insert some data into it. So we'll write create table employees and then we'll write today we are not going to use any kind of constraints in our table. It will be really simple. So we'll write employee ID of type number, full name of type varchar2 of length 50. Then we'll write email of type varchar2 of length 100. Next is salary of type number. And last, hire date of type date. That's it. These are the different columns that we have in our employees table, which is employee ID, full name, email, salary, hire date. And let's create it. So finally our table is created. Let's check the structure of it. So we'll write DESC, which is short form of describe, and then we'll write employees. And let's run this. So you see we have this is the description of our table employees. So we have employee ID of type number, full name of type varchar2, email varchar2, salary of type number, and hire date is date. And now let's use a select command to see the data inside. It is empty, so we shouldn't see anything. So we'll write select star from table name, which is employees. And let's run this. So you see right now our table is empty. So let's start inserting value into it. So we'll write insert into employees and then we'll write values and we'll write 1. Let's say the name of the employee is John Doe. Let's write like this, John Doe, and the email is john@example.com. Example.com. Then we have the after the email we have salary. So let's say the salary is $50,000 per annum, and we'll use toDate for our date function. So we'll write toDate, and then we'll write the age hire date. So we'll write let's say the John was hired on 15 January 2022. So we'll write 202201 and 15. And now we'll write the format in which we want the date to be shown or displayed. So we'll write year, and then month, and finally date. Let's close this and close the final bracket, and now let's run this. So one row is inserted. Let's check by select. So you see we have details of John, full name, email, salary, hire date. Now let's add 2 more employees. So we'll write, we'll just copy paste, and let's say the second employee name is Jane Smith. and the email address is jane@example.com. Salary is $60,000 per annum, and the hire date is 1st June 2021. So we'll write 202106 and 01. Finally, let's add third employee. His name is Robert Jr. And the email is robert@example.com, and the salary is 55,000 per annum, and the date of joining is or hiring is uh 10th March 2023. So we'll write 10th March is 03, and let's put it 010, and let's run this. Now we inserted 2 rows of data more, so let's check using select command. And you see we have John, Jane Smith, Robert Jr. One thing I want to highlight here is you see the different formats in which we entered our employee's name. Like John is all uh, name is all in lowercase, whereas Jane Smith name is all in uppercase, and Robert Jr. has initials capitalized. So here we'll see like how string function comes handy or becomes handy to kind of correctly uh, place the text or uh, get the symmetric data or organize our such unorganized text. So basically, what string functions are used for is to work with text like names, emails, addresses, and they are helpful when we want to standardize names or codes before comparing them, especially if like some users enter lowercase and some enter data in uppercase data format. So let me show you some like first let's start with the first function of string functions, which is called upper, and what it actually do is it converts text to all capital letters. And let me show you a query for this. So we can write select upper, and then we'll write let's say John Doe, like we have John Doe from doer. So what is dual is? Dual is just our a virtual table when we work with SQL, and John Doe is kind of like any virtual entry, any entry in this virtual table that is not like existing, but SQL will help us to convert the whole name into uppercase. So let's run and check. So you see, John name is completely now capitalized. This is how the upper function works. So now let's apply it on our employees table. So we'll write select upper full name. So because we want to apply on full name from employees, and let's run this. So it will change the full name. So you see now we have employee's name all in uppercase, and we can even like let's say we just want to display the employee ID. Oh, I added uh see, we last time in the last video we uh worked on constraints, and you see I gave all employees employee ID 1, which is not correct, right? So this is why we need constraints in our tables. So for now, our let's continue with this, but ideally every employee should have their unique employee ID. So I can show you like let's say we want name in uppercase and And the email address we want as it is, and salary we want to display this, so we can write select, and then we write upper, and then full name, and then email, and then let's call salary from, and then table name, which is employees, and let's run this. I think there is some error. It shows upper. Let's copy this. Oh, yeah, everything looks fine. Let's run this. Oh, there is some error. Sorry, I had the spelling of typo. There was typo in from spelling. So now let's run this. So we have upper. We'll get the full name in upper. Then we'll get our email of the employee, and then we'll get the salary. And let's close this bracket, otherwise we'll get an error again. And let's run this. So you see, we got employee names in upper, and then our emails as they were entered, and then the salary. So now let's move to the second function, which is like lower. So we'll be looking at it's written as lower, and what it do is it converts text to all lowercase. So our lower function converts. So our lower case or lower function in string functions converts all text to lowercase. So let's see how it works. So we can write select lower, and then let's say we write hello, and then we write from dual, which is our virtual table like I mentioned before. And let's see, ideally what we should get as the lowercase of hello. Let's run this, and you see it converted the hello in capital letters to lowercase. Now let's see one more example related to our employees table. So we can write select lower, and let's say then we write email, and which is already lower. So let's write n- like the full name here as well. So we should get lowercase, all the names in lowercase from employees. And now let's run this. So you see, now we got all the names of the employees in the lowercase. We use lowercase functions when comparing case sensitive fields like email addresses. Here I showed you the example with the full name, but generally we want email addresses in lowercase if they are in uppercase, or sometimes we want them convert them to uppercase. But this is how basically you can use or uh, uh, check your data with lowercase function. So now let's check the another function of string function type, which is INITCAP. So this is how we write it, and what it do is it capitalizes the first letter of any word, or so first letter of each word of each word. So let's see how it works. So let's say we write select INITCAP, and then we write Robert Jr. So Robert and Jr. and from dual, and let's run this and see what it do. So you see, we got capital for capital R and J for junior. So it basically capitalizes the initial letters of each word. And now let's try to apply it on our employees table. So we'll write select INITCAP full name from employees, and let's run this. So you see it capitalized the first letter of each employee name. So we got J, capital J, and D for John Doe. So basically, if a user entered a name in all caps locks or all in lowercase, this function basically helps us to clean it and uh, display it beautifully. Basically, the name display the names beautifully or whatever data we are working with. Now let's look at the another function of string type functions, which is length function. We write it length, and what it do is it tells us how many characters are there in the string. So this is how we use it. So we write select length, and then let's say we write hello world, and from dual. So basically we want to calculate how many characters are there in hello world, and let's run this query and see what we get. So we get 11 characters. Let's count it. So we have these 5 in hello, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have total 10 characters and plus 1 space character. So total we have 11 characters here. So this is how the length character function is handy. Now let's try to apply it on our employees table. So we can write select length and then email from employees, and now let's run this. So you see we got length of all the email that we entered for each employee's data. So now let's check another function which is called the substring function. And what it do is it helps us to extract parts of a string. And let's see how it works. So let's say we write select substring, and then let's say we have the word database, and we want the part of string with the substring that starts from first index and until fourth index from our dual virtual table. And let's run this, and what we get, let's see. So we get data. So it started from D, which is our first index or first letter in our string, and then it goes until the fourth character. So this is how we can work with this our substring function. Let's say let's run another query with, like, let's say we go from 4, and let's say what is the string length. So it is 4 plus 4, that is 8. So let's say we go from 4 to 8. Let's see what we get now. So you see we got the last 5 characters because it included 4 in here. And now let's say we go beyond, let's say if our length is 8 and if we want to go for 10, what happens? So we go from 6 and let's say we write 12. So do it kind of like circles around the database, or what happens? So you see we only got the last 3 because it started from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll get the last three because it starts from A, S, E, and there is nothing at the end. So it do not give us the initials because it of gets out of characters after the 8 number. So basically, it will only give us the last 3 characters in this situation, even if we provide an index that is way higher than the total length of the string. Now let's see the working of a substring function in our employees table. So we'll write select substring substr, and then we write full name, and let's write 3 to 5, and from employees, and let's run this. So you see we got part of the strings from each employee's name. So this is how you can use substring functions, and substring functions are useful when we are checking so when we are checking the first few characters of a string, or we want to extract specific initials from a string. So in that case, substring function is really very helpful. Also, like the length function is very helpful when we are checking the length limit of any word, or let's say we want to put any username for any employee. So if we want to have like a fixed length of username, and we don't want let the users to exceed that, in that case the length function gets handy. So now let's look at one more string function type, which is in string function, which is written as INSTR, and what it do is it helps us to find the position in the substring, or a position of a substring in a string. So here we had database, and we wanted substring parts starting from 1 to 4. So we got data, and now we know we have data, but we want to know what are the position, or where this substring is located. So in that case we use in string function. So this is how we can write or use this in string function. So we can write the query select INSTR, and then we'll write let's say we write any email. So we'll write developer at example.com, and let's say we want to know the location of at the rate in this example email, and we write from dual, which is our virtual table, and let's run this. So it should give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it should give us a value 10. So let's run this. So you see we got 10 because the location of at the rate is there. And now let's try to use this in our employees table. So we can write select in string, and then we'll write email, and now we want to track the location of dot in our employees email. So we'll write from employees, which is our table, and let's run this. So you see we got the locations for the dot that we used before and our in our email address that we entered. So you can see here. So here before the .com, so we are tracking the location of this dot. So we for John we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you see the location is 13, which is correct. So this is how our in string function works. In-string functions are super helpful for checking the structure of any information that is entered into the table. Let's say email has at the rate and period, and we want to check if they are placed at the right location or not. So in that case, in-string function is really very helpful. Now the last function in the string function list is concat function or concatenate function. This is how we write it, or we can write it with the pipe operators like this. And what it do is it help us to join two or more strings. Let's see how you can write or use it in your query. So you can write select concat, and then you write, let's say, hello, and then you write word, and now you want to concatenate this from dual, which is our virtual table, and let's run this. So we should get hello world together. So this, you see, it concatenated or joined them. So now let's use it in our employees table. So we can write select con full name, and then we use our pipe operator. Like I said, we can use this, and then we do this hyphen, and then again pipe operator, and then we write email from our table name, which is employees, and let's run this. So you see now it joined or concatenated our employees full name and their email address. So this is how you can use concatenate function from string functions, and this is kind of very useful when combining columns. For example, creating a display format like name hyphen email in any report you are working with. So this is like uh, the list, or I have covered until now all the string functions. Thank you so much for watching. Today you learned the most useful string functions in SQL, including upper lower INITCAP to fix the case, a length substring in string to inspect and extract text, concatenate to join text values. These functions you'll see all the time in database testing, validation, and data cleanup tasks. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, which is Software Testing with Ree. See you in the next video, and happy learning.